New York Xenomorph. It was hard to say what we saw back in the day. Me, Taylor, and Joey were young teenagers at the time, and as young lads, we liked to take dares and play pranks on each other. We heard about an underground world that mole people lived. These were people who lived off the grid in deserted areas such as sewers or subway. We visited a subway station that was being used by the everyday commuters. We heard that if we walked beyond the station and up a section of track, we would come across an abandoned station. We headed down the tracks and were very cautious for trains and workers. We found a tunnel that led towards a sewer. Then we saw a small fire as we approached. There were boxes, dolls, and random items. We started laughing, and a man came out of the boxes. He screamed at us that we were rats and started swing a broom handle in our direction as to scare us. We ran off into the shadows and assumed he was mentally ill. He kept making noises for a while. He muttered he was Walter and the rats have no rights before he laid down. We carried on watching him. Then something really weird happened. A black figure started moving towards him. I think it was shuffling across the floor and hunched over with a leather hoodie. When it was within meters of him, the hood seemed to elongate and touch him in the box. He started moving. He shouted rats and hood, like head covered his head. I wasn't sure if the creature had arms or legs. Then he was screaming as if into water. It dragged him into the darkness as is convulsed. Feeling a sense of horror, we ran, our legs like jelly and our hearts pounding like a drum. We wasn't sure what we saw because it's weird and we didn't think anyone would believe us. Months later, we returned, only see new people camping in the station abandoned tunnel, and no sign of the man. The creature reminded me of an alien from a film I saw, and maybe a leech, because in future years I saw a documentary and had a flashback